No prosperity, no peace. That's the focus of tonight's angle. The events of just the past 24 hours should tell us one thing. A vote for Harris is a vote for a U.S. war with Russia. Various reports this week indicate that the Biden-Harris administration is preparing to announce that it'll authorize Ukraine to use American weapons inside Russian territory and deep inside. Well, naturally, Putin is taking this as a U.S.-sanctioned attack on Russian territory, which it is.
If this decision is made, it'll mean nothing less than the direct participation of NATO countries, the United States, and European countries in the war in Ukraine. This is their direct participation, and this, of course, significantly changes the very essence, the very nature of the conflict. This will mean that NATO countries, the United States, and European countries are fighting Russia.
Now, this is the most dangerous moment, I think, for the United States since the end of the Cold War. And, of course, a real president, not a ghost president that we have now, would address the nation and explain why the facts on the ground justify such a major U.S. escalation that is obviously, from these leaks in the press, in the works. Now, of course, the truth is not pretty on the ground. Our generals and Zelensky himself, they know that Ukraine is now and has been on the course to lose this war. So $200 billion in U.S. money, all these weapons sent over, and a major upheaval in the energy and agriculture markets, countless dead, we'll never know the real numbers. And young voters across the country right now should realize this. Voting Democrat means not only 4 more years of war, but the very real possibility that at some point we would need a draft to staff our already depleted military ranks. You've seen the recruiting numbers. They're terrible. So a real press would be demanding answers tonight on all of these critical matters. But of course, the press and Kamala Harris, they know that this is a really bad political issue for them. This is why none of the questions raised at the debate really drilled down here. The only question about this was phrased to make Trump look bad, which didn't succeed.
Do you want Ukraine to win this war?
I want the war to stop. I want to save lives that are being people being killed by the millions.
Now, of course, Donald Trump is right. We need peace. And at the start of this war, the Angle noted how unlikely it would be for Ukraine to defeat Russia. Russia, of course, is a nuclear power. It's also a country that is backed by China, that has the largest standing army in the world. And if anything, after all of this, Russian nationalism, Russian patriotism, it's grown since the war started. And Putin probably is in a stronger position politically, certainly not a weaker one. And of course, at the same time, America is poorer. And speaking of the poorer issue, the Washington Post is trying to, and failing to rebut the terrible census data report that showed definitively why most Americans just don't feel like the economy is working for them. And of course, even the Post, though, had to concede that household incomes rose last year for the first time since 2019, but are still lower than they were before the pandemic. And by the way, the poverty rate's gone up. So bingo. This is just a toxic combination for the Harris campaign: war and decline. Now, remember, both factored into Obama's win back in 2008. Back then, of course, it was the Iraq War and the 2008 financial crisis. So in that situation, McCain did not stand a chance. And here we are, 16 years later, we have another period of American decline, another costly war of choice, and it just rages on. So no wonder some of the same familiar figures are supporting Harris. This is just as much about their own egos and their own redemption as anything else.
In this election, I actually have the endorsement of 200 Republicans who have formerly worked with President Bush, Mitt Romney, and John McCain, including the endorsement of former Vice President Dick Cheney and Congress member Liz Cheney.
This is just the best moment ever. It's so predictable, though, right? Of course, Liz Cheney is jockeying to be Harris's defense secretary in some wild fantasy that will edge us closer to World War III. We're going to get it right this time. This is insane. And the voters need to know what's on the line here. The simple message to all voters out there, but especially women, I think especially young people. think very carefully about what's at stake here. Extending the brat summer and making Taylor Swift happy will come at a very heavy price. War with Russia and decline at home. The only chance we have for peace and prosperity is with Donald Trump.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.